hope you're happy. What? You're going to the West is so freaking pathetic to tell. Why are you talking about West? You're sending your boarding school in Texas. Well, thanks to you. We're going to take care of the people you love. Hey, I did home, but yeah, it's a long way.
Wait for what?
Cool. All right, I'll see you on then.
No,
I told you to shut the hell up.
we didn't. What do you
The little boyfriend just took me to thread online.
worry about that idea?
What'd you tell him?
You tell him anything. You won't.
We go. I'm not doing it. Stay away from me. Stay away from Sarah. I told your principal boyfriend keep his mouth shut or else you're gonna.
Hey everyone, so before this video begins, I do just have to make myself clear on a few things. This video is based on my perspective and my time spent in the Alexa Nikolas's Eat Predators Discord. Also, I will be telling the stories and statements by other ex-members, and their identities, of course, will be kept anonymous. I want to be clear, I'm going to be talking about how the community was ran and how many of us felt that the environment became unhealthy. Everything I share in this video is my direct observation, my personal opinion, as well as stories shared from other ex-members that asked me to share them. I think it's important to finally shine light on this because survivors' spaces deserve to be safe, not dismissive or controlled. And on behalf of ex-members of the Discord and myself, we would like to thank Ophie Dophie and Adam McIntyre for the coverage that they have done concerning Alexa. Your guys' coverage on this lady has really validated for us that we are not the only ones that see the unpredictable path that she walks. And also, I and others are in full support of Kat Tenbarge. Best wishes to her. She does not deserve what is happening to her right now. Lastly, in the video you're about to see, I made the video 9 months ago. That's when I was dyeing my hair blonde. So I went back to my natural color. That's why it's going to be like, oh, who is this? Is this a different person? No, it's still me. I do confess that in the past I was hesitant about posting a video like this because sharing our experiences within this Discord with the person that we're dealing with, well, you know how things could go. So please be respectful in the comments, and here's the video. Good luck. Welcome to the Charmed and Dangerous podcast. My name is Em, and in this video, we're going to channel into Alexa Nikolas and her Eat Predators movement. This video is intended to bring light to the experience that her paying members had within her Eat Predators Discord. Members will remain anonymous. This is due to the protection of their identity as well as their fear of Alexa. A lot of people do fear Alexa because of her, the way she reacts to confrontation. In the past, it hasn't been too great. A lot of people don't want their face in a Guess Who video. How I found out about Eat Predators, because I do want to say this before I move on in the video, I am one of those survivors because the the stuff that I have witnessed being in that Discord, I stayed because I was like making sure people were okay. So I'm a published author, and I found Eat Predators through researching organizations for survivors, because my book that I published happens to be about my survivor story. And I was looking up organizations that helped shared survivors' voices. And Eat Predators came along my research, and I was like, oh, isn't that the girl from Zoe 101 that played like the ditzy character? I went down the rabbit hole of like her YouTube channel, and I was like, wow, okay, I can support this. I like the logo, I like the movement. In November 2023, I became a paying member of Eat Predators. I was paying $11.11. All her prices on her Patreon are like angel numbers. I feel like that should have been my red flag right there. And by the way, these are the current prices. Like, it's still the same, which is wild. Also included in my $11.11 package was a link to the Discord. I think some like discounts for merch. Before moving on, it's important to note the lore behind Eat Predators, because there is, it's not long, but it is a lot. There are two generations of Eat Predators, and there is a hierarchy of Eat Predators. We're going to dissect this. The first generation members of Eat Predators are like the founders of the whole movement, and they knew each other in person. I guess they went around like protesting and all this stuff. This lore goes so deep with the first generation that like Alexa has made Guess Who videos about like each ex-member that she has like beef with. Within this first generation of members began to retaliate against Alexa. One of them even became a vengeful stalker towards Alexa. Till this day, she has an RO. So it's very intense stuff within that one person. However, other members did retaliate against her, splitting the Discord and the members in half. So within that time, some members chose Alexa's side and other members chose the members speaking out against her. Because of all this disarray, Alexa shut down the Discord and took a step back from the movement to take a break. And she took that break, I guess, until the fall of 2023, because that's when the Discord is reinstated, and the first generation of members that were on Alexa's side, they now became the moderators of the second generation of the Discord. And that leads us to fall of 2023. The second generation of the Discord is up and running. New members are pouring in. So the Discord was very fun at first. It was active. People were sharing their lives, pictures of their pets, pictures of their paintings, their crocheting, their talents, all of that. A lot of us were relating with each other and also relating to Alexa and inspired by Alexa, because she would say things like, survivors united will never be divided. And most importantly, survivors were not feeling alone with being a survivor, because that shit comes with side effects. And it was really great to have other people that gone through like the same side effects, just to like lean on somebody or like speak about it, and like that person knows what you are going through and talking about. It was very heartwarming to be around. So Alexa would go on live, and then that night in the Discord, after each live, there would be like a new wave of members coming through. So us as new members of this Discord, we had no idea that there was like a first generation before us, and we just thought this was all like brand new. And the first thing that you're going to see when you went on the Discord was to agree to terms and like rules. And we're going to go over some of the rules that Alexa had within the Discord. I mean, like the basic rules were like respect each other, respect each other's identification, like about me section. Within these rules of the Discord, Alexa had two special ones. The first one was absolutely no screenshotting of the Discord, which I find ironic because Alexa is the queen of screenshots. I mean, this lady could have a screenshot from a text that you sent her in 2008, and she could pull that shit up. I bet you. And the second special rule is no fangirling over Alexa. This rule is a smart idea. I understood it and I respect it. I understood that she has fame from Zoe 101, which is why I believe Eat Predators took off the second time around. And I met my fair share of celebrities. I met Katy Perry, I met Teresa Giudice, I met Kevin Hart, Shaggy. Like, I am no stranger to meeting like a celebrity. To me, they are just humans as well. Unless
Significantly preceded 6 weeks. Antidepressants may increase suicidal thoughts and actions in every adult. Tell your doctor about sudden changes in your thoughts and behavior. Don't take out that if you have a seizure, eating disorder, or have a problem stop drinking alcohol, or taking benzodiazepines or digital or interceding system. Serious allergic reactions can occur. Don't take it if you're allergic to dextromethorphan, bupropion, or any ingredients in alcohol. Don't take it in your lungs. High blood pressure, manic episodes, serious eye problems, and disease can occur. Before all medicines you take to avoid a lung-threatening condition. Don't take Auvelity if you are or may become pregnant. Side effects can include dizziness, infection, sleeping, trauma, sexual function problems, and sex disorders. Ask your provider about Auvelity.
The new Popeyes Hot Ones menu has something for the spice curious, the spice lovers, and the full-fledged certified spice lovers. That flavor's fine. Except the Popeyes Hot Ones menu. Love that chicken from Popeyes. Unlock Disney Plus all stepping into the starting Crystal Moon Saturday. Best sports, movies, and shows. Get all ESPN Disney Plus right now.
So you have it.
No, I just woke up.
You sure?
Yes. Should I go look for it?
No. Just because you think that she might be this.
I was
Ah. Have you seen Lexi? Not since the other day. Why? She ran away. When?
not
If she is. I don't care. Let you know. It's not competitive. I'm sorry. You know what? We can try that seed cell phone. No. We took it away. Okay. I think that we should all use your phone and everything. Let's look over first. If you find your friend's house, but we can just. Secure.
Hey, sweet.
Not great.
So I was maybe we should open. Talking about it. But I mean, like black.
Here's the thing. If I go in and tell what happened, it will speak out. If I admit to having a relationship with a foster, even because it goes in my file and I get put in the house. And if they decide that I, sexually involved, and they could put me in the group home, and once she becomes a prostitute,
That's crazy. This is
Less. Mariah Carey was standing right in front of me, like I'd be intimidated as hell, but she's no diva, she's no Mimi. I've noticed other members younger than they did have this excitement to speak to Alexa. I mean, I had excitement too, but not to like give her compliments over and over again, like in a fangirly way. But in voice chats with Alexa, I did notice that she had like admirers. People were inspired by her movement. So we have no screenshotting in the Discord and then no fangirling over Alexa. Got it. But what about Alexa not harnessing the admiration of her supporters for her advantage? Alexa's just like every other person on this platform with a microphone that crosses boundaries with their supporters. If I were to say anything to Alexa, it would be, honey, you are what you eat. Okay? You are an alleged social predator. That's what I kind of came to the realization of after everything that I have witnessed and heard about. If she eats predators, I dissect them. Dissect you and expose you for what you are. That's what I would do to a predator. Anyway, I must move on. So this alleged social predator has accusations of befriending supporters, emotionally manipulating them, and turning supporters against each other within the Discord. Allegedly, she would make phone calls to members even if they lived overseas in different time zones. She would call these people at 3 a.m. in their time zone to allegedly go on rants about other members or about her personal frustrations or issues.
Alexa called one of the members who she knows is on the spectrum. Alexa called me tonight. I've been so overwhelmed. Alexa just kind of did a number on me. She honestly makes me so anxious. Another member who became a moderator said the way I would describe her is like a boss that only talks to you if they need you. A boss that doesn't care about you in any way. Alexa was spamming the moderator group chat yesterday. Blank had a medical event happen because Blank was stressed. Alexa pretty much glossed over it and carried on ranting. She also made a chat to set me and Blank up. Alexa and the main moderator ambushed in a chat. They were acting like they didn't know about the situation to see if Blank and I would say anything. That was triggering because the feeling of being manipulated and set up. And then on the phone call with just me, she basically told me she set us up and sounded really proud of it.
Allegedly, Alexa collects screenshots from members and creates drama with them, and she also plays favoritism. All this allegedly behind the scenes happening while she's eating up all the glory and adoration that the members are giving her after each live. The hierarchy of Eat Predators. Alexa and her husband, Michael, which I believe he went by Miko, something like that. Then it was this wild card of a lady, Alexandra. Alexandra is Alexa's mother. She would only aggressively show up in like the YouTube comment section on Alexa's lives. She wasn't in the Discord. It's insane type of like interactions with her within that that comment section on those lives. And then next we have moderators. Now the moderators are the people that stuck through the mud with Alexa within the first generation of Eat Predators. After moderators is voice chat moderators, and this only consisted of second generation members. Then we have the Survivor Listening Circle leader, and this is an ex-friend of Alexa's. And then lastly, on the hierarchy is the Eat Predators paying members. If you were on the Discord, you were giving Alexa some type of income monthly, okay? I just want to state that. So the perks about being a paying member was to be on the Discord and also be involved in book clubs, which was a live voice chat with Alexa discussing a book. The book that we were discussing was Jeanette McCurdy's book, which is amazing. Obviously, I recommend giving it a read or an audio listen. So on Discord, she would be live on camera and all of us would just do voice chats only. We would not go on camera ourselves. Through these book club live chats, Alexa got to know a lot of us on a personal level to the point of like knowing our names and recognizing like our voices. I myself and others were enjoying the community. We felt seen, we had a sense of safety. We really did have respect for each other, becoming friends, vulnerable survivors who were looking for a community that we can relate to. And we found one. So we thought. At first, I did think Alexa had a good handle on managing the Discord until the red flags started to appear. The red flags of Alexa. Red flag number 1, Alexa is oblivious during emergencies. It was around late December 2023, and other members were in a book club voice chat with Alexa. When a member had a medical event happen in the live chat, Alexa was very aware that this medical event happened often with this person.
When did it happen?
So I was at work in May, and I just suddenly got like a really bad headache. And then slowly I just began to lose my speech. Couldn't speak for like a week. Like every time I tried to speak, I just made sounds. And sometimes that happens again, but not for quite as long. But like,
I'm so sorry.
And Alexa allegedly was quickly concerned and said, "Oh, wait, doesn't that happen all the time?" She asked somebody to check on the member because the member left. Once she got confirmation about this member being checked on, she continued to proceed with the context of the book club. But she didn't read the room. We did not want to move on with the context of the book. We wanted to make sure that our friend was like literally okay because they were having a medical emergency. This situation is when I first got the ick with Alexa, and my suspicions about her leadership began to grow. Red flag number 2. E-Predators moderators from the first generation. There were a few of them. They were rarely active. I got into night mode over here, and we're talking about the second red flag, which was the moderation of the Discord. There were a few moderators. One specifically only promoted their music, their latest single that was coming up. That's when you only heard from them. And then there was like this main moderator, and that's what we're going to call them from like here on out. This main moderator apparently has been friends with Alexa for like 2+ years. They handled every Discord maintenance that Alexa wanted on the Discord, or like any disputes between members. Like this moderator was on it, okay? And they would apologize a lot, saying that they were going through something with their mental health, which I feel like running a Discord and mental health, that's a lot of like things on your plate. So I get that. But also, like the other moderators weren't really like helping around, you know? They need to do their chores. One day in the Discord, there was a voice chat with just members, not Alexa, no moderators in there at all. And we had our cameras on. I was there. We had our cameras on, and we were getting to know each other. And then Becky, we're going to call her Becky, she turns on her camera and she has like this creepy, scary lady holding her shoulder and standing next to her. And this other dude named Chad, who he has a habit of like aggressively speaking over us when we were like chatting, and then he aggressively like changes the subject. So he did that, and him and the creepy lady started talking about like Scientology. And now it's important to note that Chad, he like is a survivor of Scientology, though he was speaking against it. What really kind of spooked us out, the creepy spooky lady and Chad did like a 360 and then started praising Scientology and then going into conspiracy theories, kind of like bringing down the vibe of like just getting to know each other.
Oh my god. Hi. And keeps me. Model face. Oh my god, this is so low. Ooh, that's a big one. Let me see. Oh my god, that's terrible. You have to do that. Probably $3. So. Yeah. Well, mean, how did this person? Well, that's not exactly right. I mean, sort of great. Sort of off.
Like a group video chat, you know what I mean? It got very serious very quickly, and this triggered a lot of people, and we tried to change the subject. Chad did his aggressively speaking over us, so we all just kind of like left, and then obviously in our private messages we're like, what the fuck was that? And so I thought that this could be dangerous if we keep doing like camera chats and all that without a moderator. So the next time that I talked to Alexa in a book club is when I spoke up. So Alexa in this book club, she was like about to speak, and I said, hey, Alexa, you need to be concerned about this. And then she was like, oh, what? And I like explained to her their members that made other members feel really uncomfortable in a member only like video voice chat, and I suggested like voice moderator. So she did choose 3 members to be now I want to say 3 second generation members to be voice chat moderators. Okay, so Alexa did something finally with her leadership skills. She added voice moderators to voice chats. Woohoo! After this decision, Alexa would go on to do more lives, and her like new membership in the Discord, they were like on turbo mode. Like we would wake up and there'd be new people in the Discord like nonstop. This caused like a mass hysteria ban. So people were getting like bans left and right. And when you get banned on Discord, your name turns white. So there's like a lot of names turning white, and it's because they were either like really fangirling over Alexa, or they were posting like weird articles about like predators, and it was kind of like getting really inappropriate. A lot of trolls ended up in the Discord chat.
All of us are monks of life, and how slavery actually hurts the masters because they're actually the weakest of us all. They're the weakest people I've ever met in my goddamn life. You cannot have an honest conversation with them, which is why I now realized that they were probably connected to MKUltra because their father ran a college and then they became therapists. And it's like, oh shit. And he ran a college during Gettysburg College during a time, the longest president during a time when they built the most buildings. And I bet you when they were building those buildings, they built places for experiments. And I want to research that and to make videos and ask people, are you a survivor? If you're alive, what happened? If I'm right, they were fucking crazy.
Wow.
So like when I read about these Nazi people and their family, honestly, some of these Nazis were nicer than my family. They were able to emotionally be more.
It's a little, sorry, I can't be here. I'm so sorry. I'm looking at the time and I'm like, I can't. I know that we're trying to like be mindful of everyone's time in the queue. So I just wanted to
wrap that up.
Yes.
Information. I really think that I need to talk to you more because I think that the mind control people are going to be after you, and I would like to share with you what I've learned and from dating people that I'm never going to talk about on the internet because they're like literally too dangerous to even mention here. So I really want you to benefit from knowing what's out there and what might come for you, because like if we know what's out there, then we have the power. Because knowledge about what's really happening is what gives us the power. So that's
thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I love you guys so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of your night too. And this. I don't even know who else is in the queue actually. I lost the queue, but everyone's talking. Oh wait, let's see.
The red flag here to me is allegedly Alexa told everyone in order to like show that you're a real member, just upgrade your membership. And she used like an example, like say if you have a $2 membership, you can upgrade to the $5 membership. And I just like see that as a huge red flag, because how is that going to prove anything that you're not a troll? You know what I mean? Yikes, girl. And the last red flag here that truly made me realize this girl is absolutely tweaking was broken promises that she made to paying members. So the first broken promise of Alexa randomly came up with something called Survivor of the Week. She directed members to write their survivor stories in an email and send it to the Eat Predators email address. So she promised that once a week before the end of her lives, she would choose a survivor story and share it on the live. She did this twice, and it's only because the second time around someone reminded her and she was like, oh my god, I forgot about it. So now let's unpack that. Alexa was always encouraging people to email the Eat Predators email address, either if they wanted to send her something or to tell her like a video idea, because she like really encouraged people to send her video ideas, and that email just turned into like a huge abyss of like lost mail, and she allegedly only responded to the ones that could be possible content for her channel. And for Survivor of the Week, Alexa had her supportive members typing out the most traumatic events of their lives, only for her to never share them, like never ever speak of Survivor of the Week again. That's really fucked up, because maybe the person was healed, but they were like writing about their trauma, and you know that shit, like you reopen old wounds, you know what I mean? And this also proves my assumptions that I don't think Alexa cares about survivors who weren't abused by predators in Hollywood. How do you do that to your supporters? We're out here supporting you, supporting Hollywood survivors like yourself, and you can't even hold true to that. So Survivor of the Week is a broken promise. However, one day in the book club with Alexa, live voice chat, we were discussing Jeanette McCurdy's book, and I relate to Jeanette McCurdy because of like she wrote her story, I wrote my story, you know. Now at the beginning of the video, I did mention that I was a published author, and in September 2023, I released my memoir. It falls under a true crime memoir, and it's called Dear Tony. I wrote my childhood essay experience so I can take the reader by the hand and really show what a child goes through, like a day in a life of a child that goes through childhood essay. And I opened up to Alexa and I told her like, oh yeah, like I love Jeanette McCurdy too, and I explained to her like about my book. So this led Alexa to reciprocate like excitement for me, and then she asked me like, how's it going with my book? I said, well, I self-published, and honestly it was really hard because I got denied by a lot of book agents due to the premise of my book, and that led me to like self-publishing. It took me 4 years to write the book. I saved like all the money for self-publishing, and after I say that, Alexa perks up and she's like, oh, I should promote your book on the podcast. She asked me to send my book information to the Eat Predators Gmail. I sent her like a first email. She never responded to it, and then like 2 weeks later, I'm in a voice chat with Alexa. I was like, you know what? Just forget about it. You don't have to be like promoting my book. It's fine. And she's like, oh no, sorry, like send everything again. You kind of kept like, oh, I'm going to promote the book thing, and like it never came to. And then also too, if you ever do want to like revisit that, I'd love to like sit down with like a plan, so like I know what you would say, and then also I take commission. I would even pay you.
No, absolutely not. I'm supporting something. Do not even think about that. No. It's my honor to do that, and I really want to. I wasn't even able to last week, like I'm obviously not even doing no more nostalgia this week. You know, like there's everything kind of got like altered. But so if you want to send me like outside of here, just send me any like if you have a digital version of it in the meantime.
She never responded to it. I said I would like to just know what she's going to discuss when she does promote my book. We need to discuss what you're gonna say, girl. A month later, this girl is in like a general chat and she randomly asks me and she's like, can you send a link to your book? And I'm like, oh my god, okay. So I send the link and then she's like, buying book now. I only have the screenshot of her like asking me to send the book because I didn't care like to at the time to document that she's like buying the book. I have no records of book sales on that day or a couple days after. So and honestly, for her to like go out of her way and say like, oh, send me the link to my book and never buy my book, the issue was deaded about like a month ago. Now you're bringing it up again just to not do it. It's like, just stop. Something funny happened because that night that she said she was buying my book, I had a dream. Okay, guys, I had a dream. I'm a bruja, so a witch. And when I have someone like gunky and flaky in my energy field, my sonar of like protection is going to go off and my dreams are going to reveal to me like true shit that's going on behind the scenes. So listen to this dream. So the dream, it was at nighttime. The moon was full, bright and high in the sky. I was kneeling at the edge of an intense dark blue pool. The pool water reflected the night sky. I look down at the edge of the pool and I see my book. And all of a sudden, the water begins to like ripple. And Alexa's head pops out of the water. She looks very different, but I could tell that it was her. She was really gray looking, like a mermaid gray siren. And she had thin black hair and her nose was like literally decaying. She's smiling at me and she opens her mouth to reveal that she has sharp teeth. And she grabs my book at the edge of the pool. She shreds it with her teeth and then swims away into the night. And I literally woke up in like the sweats, bro. Like it was a nightmare. We're gonna move on because she had made promises to other people too, not just me like this. So the next broken promise is a protest that she was going to instruct in New York City. Her and her husband were hyping up this protest saying that they were gonna fly out to New York City and protest this band who had a predator in it. I even remember in the Discord, her husband was in a like video chat with other members, and I popped in to see like why was he in a video chat with other members, like just him? Because honestly, I found that as like a little sus because like he's a man. I just find him sus, and he's like sharing his screen, and people are watching him make like the poster for that protest that they're going to fly out to. But the day of the protest, a member tagged Alexa's husband on the EP Discord and said that they were going to be late to the protest, and the husband replies, "Oh, actually, we aren't going to the protest because we can't afford it." So they never told anybody that the protest was not going to happen, and this person felt betrayed, this member, and also nervous because they were downtown Times Square, New York City, going to protest this ban. So the way that Alexa's husband tried to cover it up was, oh, hey, how about you send us a picture of you at the protest and we'll post it on our Instagram. So that is not taking people's time into consideration because if you know damn well you have this protest coming up and you can't fucking afford the tickets, you tell the people in your Discord right away. Like you just don't do that shit. So the next broken promise is that Alexa reached out to a Discord member whose career aligns with digital journalism. Now Alexa directly asked them about a potential collaboration with them, and this is because she saw that they publicly endorsed e-predators on their social media. So the member states, the collaboration with Alexa was exciting, but the lack of communication on Alexa's part was disheartening. There were no shows for scheduled calls, and then also no speaking about rescheduling. This indicated lack of professionalism on Alexa's part and lack of respect for someone's time. Alexa hypes people up, and she never follows through on what she says unless it's beneficial for her. Now we're going into the trenches of this whole situation with the Discord, the survivor listening circle. All right, buckle your seatbelts because this one is very interesting. In the Discord, Alexa introduced a friend who is also a survivor. She introduced this person thinking that they would be a great fit to run a survivor listening circle. And we're going to call this person the survivor listening circle leader. So me and my friend actually in the Discord, we were kind of hesitant with this idea because we did find out that the leader of this circle is not licensed within like therapy or psychology. So it's just like a regular person running a listening circle of survivors that went through like traumatic events. We were unsure how this was going to pan out, but looking back at the downfall of the survivor listening circle, boundaries were definitely crossed. This is why like you need professionals within a setting like this, so boundaries are not crossed. Alexa did state that the survivor listening circle leader was gossiping about survivors in the listening circle. Now the situation goes deep within Alexa and the survivor listening circle leader because the survivor listening circle leader, I guess, has been becoming like fed up with Alexa. I don't know, they had like their own thing going on in the background of stuff. So both of them are like sitting on screenshots about each other. They both have dirt on each other, and everything became like a he said, she said. Alexa did like a whole Guess Who video on the survivor listening circle leader. Apparently, the survivor listening circle leader has screenshots and the full story about somebody taking money from the fundraiser that Alexa had going on within the Discord, and also screenshots about the main moderator. And Alexa allegedly has screenshots of the survivor listening circle saying horrible things about Alexa and other people. So like I said, it's very he said, she said. Which this rings true because months after the Discord finally closes, Alexa allegedly sends an iMessage to one of the ex-members of Eat Predators. So she sends a screenshot of the survivor listening circle leader talking crap and being mean about this person. So she sends that message and says, see, they were making fun of you. Months later, like out of nowhere, out of the blue, with the money that Alexa was getting from all these paying members, I'm sure she could have set aside like $100 a month or something to get an actual therapist to be like doing this listening circle if she wanted her members to have it so badly. I do want to note that Alexa never checked in on the listening circle. Later in a live stream, she says that listening groups are just too triggering for her. That's why she never showed up into the survivor listening circle.
I can't do a survivors listening group. I don't have as much time as most people because I'm a mom and I'm doing so many things. And also, I've been in some of those groups and it can be triggering. I just knew I'm not like a first responder. And I would consider a survivor listening group a first responder position. And I know I'm not that.
Bad leadership on Alexa's part yet again. So the next thing is a predator is in the Discord. Someone came forward about a certain e-predators member, and this member was Chad from the beginning of the video, that Chad. Now Chad didn't get banned when he was scaring everybody about Scientology, but he immediately got banned when a lot of ladies were coming out saying that Chad was continuously private messaging them and being inappropriate. So this strange thing that all his victims kept saying were that they were scared to come out and tell people in the Discord because Chad was a moderator on Alexa's YouTube live comments. So they thought he was important in the community because Alexa had him as a moderator. Now to be clear, he was not a moderator in the Discord, a moderator in the YouTube comments. So you would think that your members who are survivors just found out that there's a predator in the Discord. You think you would kind of come into the community and calm everyone down and say like, oh, this is how we're handling the situation. If anyone needs like someone to speak to, reach out here and here, yada, yada, yada. She did none of that, okay? And then she was confronted about it in a voice chat, yet again, confronted in a voice chat.
Hey, Alexa, are you there? Yeah, you just need to have a little bit of a heads up. So we just had the survivors listening circle, and things got just a little bit heated, and a few people got a little bit upset about some stuff that's been going on in the Discord, and then a bit of an argument ensued at the end. So I just wanted to make you aware that there might be like some tensions.
Hello, how is everyone doing here? And I did want to at least say something about what recently happened when it comes to a specific Discord member that I sadly learned that was saying inappropriate things to members here of Eat Predators, and you can't. Ooh, wait, I actually have a delivery coming. Hold on one second. Can you please put the package over the wooden door? Sorry, I'm saying this.
The universe hates
Okay.
me today.
So you can't, I mean, obviously I can't control the whole thing. All we can do is if someone is showing inappropriate, hopefully this person gets my message, but hopefully what we can do is make sure that all of the members in here feel safe and comfortable, going to a mod or messaging me. Obviously I'm balancing a lot, so I'm not the quickest person, definitely not, but at least for me as well, can reach out to me and, things can be handled. And, sometimes that means a ban, obviously, when it comes to extremely, inappropriate behavior, disrespectful, harassment, you name it, then that means a serious ban. But I want everyone in the Discord to feel comfortable.
And she claimed that Chad was never meant to be made a moderator in the YouTube chats. Apparently her friend had the same name, first and last name, apparently as him. And that's why she thought it was her friend and added him as the moderator in the YouTube chats. Now that doesn't make any fucking sense at all. Chad's first and last name was the same on YouTube as in the Discord. And Chad and Alexa, within like voice chats, they got to know each other because they were chatting in book club. So I don't understand how she got confused. Alexa, poor leadership. Do you know that scene from Mean Girls when everyone is running in chaos and Regina's just standing there in like a perfect bliss just watching? We're almost to that point. So the day people found out about Chad in the Survivor listening circle, there was also another situation. So somebody was being bullied, and this is actually a friend of mine, and they were being bullied to the point where like no one was caring, none of the moderators were caring to help, and it was getting bad. Like my friend had to go talk to her therapist. They spent days literally trying to like message moderators about this person. So in the Survivor listening circle, as everyone is calming down from the news of Chad, my friend comes in and she, as she should, confronted her bully in front of everybody. And this kind of triggered a lot of people to be like, oh my God, what is going on? As she's going off at her bully, she's kicked out of the voice chat. And the Survivor listening circle leader begins to go off about her issues with Alexa. They go on a rant about how they're so done with Alexa and her unprofessionalism. And apparently, like behind the scenes, Alexa has been trying to use the Survivor listening circle for some like legal advice. The Survivor listening circle leader is like smart within that. This is when people were officially upset and done with Alexa. So after the listening circle, the Discord went silent. Everybody is triggered and they feel unsafe. So we all kind of like retreated into group chats where we felt the safest with our friends. So everyone is in like all these different group chats, and the only ones that are really posting in like the main Discord are like new people. So after a week of silence in the Discord and everyone is in their group chats, I noticed that the Survivor listening circle leader's name turns white. So that means either they got banned or they left the server. I noticed that there was a Survivor listening circle coming up. So I was like, oh, I bet you like Alexa's not gonna make an announcement about what's going on. So I tag Alexa in the general chat and I have screenshots to show. So I add Alexa and I say, was the Survivor listening circle canceled today? I went to the thread to see if a cancellation was announced, but I saw that the Survivor listening circle's username turned white. And I asked if it was canceled. So Alexa responds and says, hi, yeah, it's been canceled sadly. I'll be looking for a replacement and we'll explain to you next week. That's why I haven't been going live, nor have I been active in here. I'm recovering. Thank you at everyone for understanding. Recovering from what? Recovering from all the screenshots that you've been taking and receiving because of the whole like dramatic shit show that you have created back behind the scenes of this whole Discord. Yeah, I bet that takes like a lot out of you, girl. So when Alexa told me she'll explain next week, what she meant was on Alexa's YouTube channel, she created a time slot for a scheduled live, and the scheduled live was a thumbnail with a guess who. So obviously with like the leader of the Survivor listening circle not being in the server anymore, everyone is pointing fingers being like, oh my God, that's who the guess who is about. And like literally our group chats, they were like pinging because it was like hot tea, So basically the live was exposing the Survivor listening circle leader and being mad at her. Now a little Easter egg that Alexa doesn't know in her Survivor listening circle guess who video is she's showing all these screenshots so fast that she's going over like things that were not blocked out that she should have blocked out because it's about her. I don't think she realizes that this was in there, and I have the screenshots to prove it. So the main moderator is speaking because it's the gray texter, and the message says, my mental health is so fucking bad, man. This isn't helping. I'm deathly terrified of Alexa. And they continue to say, like, she knows everything about me and the way she retaliates against people. This main moderator was allegedly friends with Alexa for 2+ years, and they're turning around and saying this, social predator, social predator, social predator. So members to this day are nervous to speak up about Alexa in fear of what she would lie or post about them. So Alexa created fear within her movement that was supposed to support survivors and gather us in a safe community to feel safe and heard. The Spot Me Fund, the Survivor Spot Me Fund came about because the main moderator decided to help Eat Predators member raise money for their surgery. The main moderator and others asked Alexa if she can promote the Spot Me Fund for the Eat Predators member on her YouTube channel, which she did. I remember her like mentioning it a few times, and they even had a game night in the Discord to raise money for this fund. However, where Alexa went wrong with allowing this situation to happen was she left it in the hands of the main moderator. So this main moderator allegedly locked the survivor out of the GoFundMe account and allegedly took money from the fund. However, Alexa stands up for the main moderator, saying that they didn't take anything out of the funds, that it was the survivor who the funds were for themselves took money out of the funds, not the main moderator. Now this started a whole nother he said, she said debate with who took the money from the survivor fund, who took the cookie from the cookie jar. Literally, this is where Alexa begins to claim that the survivor was not using the funds for their medical bills and surgery. She then began to invalidate the severity of the surgery, which Alexa and her husband allegedly began harassing the survivor for their medical documents to prove their condition and to prove their surgery. Now, I don't know if Alexa is aware of this, but that is a HIPAA violation. You just can't demand to look at somebody's medical records. So this is wild because allegedly Alexa was friends with the survivor the Spot Me Fund is for. I want to point out that the major flaw Alexa made with the survivor fund is she was not having her hands fully active in the fund account. Too many people, too many hands in the pot. So I feel like since Alexa agreed for this fund to be done by her main moderator and to be promoted to people in her community, I feel like she should have taken the extra step to have her hands fully in and watching the money. She should have made a deal where Alexa and the survivor the fund is for have access to the fund account. I mean, like she had this cash flow being moderated by 20-something-year-olds. When it comes to a big stack of money, I don't care. No matter what, money is money.
somebody is going to be tempted if no one is watching the cash flow. If this survivor fund was too much for Alexa to handle, she could have just said no. I don't want this like going through the Discord. However, I noticed this trend with her. She will agree to something and then not fully be on board on it and then ghost the idea and then something bad comes of it because she is playing hot and cold. Now this leads to my conclusion about Alexa. First off, I would like her to know that it's truly disgusting to be supporting Drake Bell. Yeah, he's a survivor from his childhood, but also he decided to do what he did to that minor. Can't be on board with that. He's a grown man. He knows right from wrong. I'm not sure how such a beautiful movement idea turned into such an ego trip, power hungry move. Perhaps Alexa feels like her childhood dreams of acting were ripped from her at a young age. It must have been hard to grow up watching her fellow acting friends' careers grow while hers dwindled. And then I know it must have been hard for her by her teens because she was groomed by a predator in the music industry. And that's a lot to handle. I witness her and I see her as a survivor. Just because she's a survivor, it can't excuse her behavior. And there is a really big trend of her behaviors not being okay socially. Social interactions that she has, there's like something that she needs to work on, like with her social emotional skills, because something's not clicking. And the way that I see it, it's like the universe gave her this platform of eat predators, and it's a dream of hers, right? To be known, to be seen, to be like famous. So she's given this platform, but she takes it to like such extremes, and now it's like ruined. I would like everyone to remember that the members in Alexa's Discord are survivors of real life traumatic events, and they have personally been affected by interacting with Alexa. I hope Alexa gets off the internet and takes care of her mental health and her children. My message to Alexa would be, I suggest that you get a steadily 9-to-5 job that you can enjoy and support your family with. I don't think interacting with a mass following of people is something that you should continue to pursue. It's like the more you interact with people online, the deeper you're digging your own pit. Just become a regular person, and I'm sure you can make some type of change within your own community and IRL around you. 9-to-5 job. Eat Predators was an unorganized community that put people in flight, fight, or fright mode. Shout out to everyone that survived Alexa, Nikolas, and the storm of Eat Predators. We are survivors, and we keep on surviving. Thank you for watching.
And she realized that we were never. We're walking home. You're not living in forest. I don't know what money is.
I just finished my makeup for the gym and I received a super exciting package in the mail. This package is from a brand called Combat Wear, and I just got the cutest CM shirt. And it's quite long. I did get a size medium. I did notice that this brand does run a little bit big, so you could definitely size down. I could have got a small. I love it so much. In this house, we are big wrestling fans. If you're a big wrestling lover, you definitely need to check them out. I will leave the link down below. I as well got the Rhea Ripley shirt from the same brand, but I love this t-shirt and I cannot wait to wear it today to the gym. I am So I just finished my makeup for the gym and I received a super exciting package in the mail. This package is from a brand called Combat Wear, and I just got the cutest CM Punk t-shirt. And it's quite long. I did get a size medium. I did notice that this brand does run a little bit big, so you could definitely size down. I could have got a small. I love it so much. In this house, we are big wrestling fans. If you're a big wrestling lover, you definitely need to check them out. I will leave the link down below. I as well got the Rhea Ripley shirt from the same brand, but I love this t-shirt and I cannot wait to wear it today to the gym. I am So I just finished my makeup for the gym and I received a super exciting package in the mail. This package is from a brand called Combat Wear, and I just got the cutest CM Punk t-shirt. And it's quite long. I did get a size medium. I did notice that this brand does run a little bit big, so you could definitely size down. I could have got a